Hello everyone and welcome to All Things Watched. In this video we are going to talk about the brand new movie which was simply titled If, and this movie mainly starred Kaylee Fleming, who portrays the young girl in which we really see this film, and we see it from her perspective. She's basically like the main character. Her name is Bia, and I'm a huge fan of her, and if I'm going to be honest with you, I think that she was actually probably the strongest performance of this entire movie, even more so than Ryan Reynolds, even though Ryan Reynolds was great as well. He portrays a character known as Cal, and of course John Krasinski is in this movie as well, and he portrays basically Bia's father, or her dad. And you know, the movie was also written and directed by John Krasinski too, so it was really cool to see him be in the movie, but not to the point where, you know, the movie was completely surrounding his character. Like, he played a really important role, but not a big role, if that makes sense. And honestly, it was really great to see their dynamic between him and Bia, and Cal and Bia. And the idea of if simply means imaginary friend, and which was really cool, or at least I thought it was really cool. And Cal, which is Ryan Reynolds' character, he's basically the one that sort of is in charge of all of these quote-unquote ifs, and he sort of manages the ifs, and sort of it's almost like, yeah, I guess he's just a manager. Like, he's kind of like, he runs the organization. He tries to help the ifs find the kid, or help the kid find the if, so to speak. And it really touches, it's I would say that it is sort of a family-friendly show in the sense that anybody can watch it, but it does talk about some really deep meanings, and dives into some really deep connections, emotional connections and whatnot too, and really deep, really has a really big, deep impact on life lessons, so to speak. One great line that was in the movie or whatnot was when one of the ifs actually says, you know, when you're an adult, that's when you need your imaginary friend the most. And I just thought that was really cool. And they had a lot of really mature, really good lines in it, like really good dialogue, like I think one was like, when you lose somebody that you love, they're never really gone, or something like that. Like, it was very emotional, very touchy, feely kind of movie, so to speak. The biggest problem that I had with the movie, though, was that, well, for one, I'm not really the target audience. This movie was not designed for someone like me, but I did find that there were times in the movie when it felt really dragged on. I just felt like, they could have easily trimmed off probably 20 minutes of the movie. So there were a lot of moments that I thought was really long, even building up to the ifs and the imaginary friends. I felt like by the time we actually see him, a good chunk of the movie was already, over. It's probably like anywhere, I don't know exactly, but probably between like 25 to 30 minutes before we even see one of these creatures. And I just feel like they really focus on the little girl, Bia, so much, and her relationship with her dad, which was very important to see, who was portrayed by John Krasinski. And once again, their dynamic was absolutely beautiful. John's performance in this was phenomenal too, and so was Kaylee. Like I said, I loved her. She's in, she played the young Sylvie in Loki. She plays Judith Grimes in the Walking Dead franchise. And now she's here basically starring in her own film. And like I said, I do think she was the best performer. She was definitely the standout. But like I said, if I were to nitpick, I did find the movie felt very long. I'm definitely not the target audience because I personally didn't really connect to the movie, and it has nothing to do with me not going through some stuff. I've lost many people and whatnot, and my imagination was always very full as a child. I always come up with stories, and I've always been involved with comic books and stuff, so I've always had a great imagination, but I've never really had an imaginary friend. And I just feel like, like I said, for me, I just feel like this movie wasn't targeted for me. I couldn't connect on the level that the movie was trying to push me, and so I've really felt like the movie was long, it was dragged out. I didn't really find the story all that compelling, really, but I did enjoy the performances, so it's not like the movie sucks, completely. And not only that, but all these things are subjective, so, just because I probably didn't like the movie doesn't mean you won't like the movie. It does have mature subjects, it does have, a lot of the feels and everything that you would want, but it's just, for me, it wasn't my kind of movie, and I personally probably would never watch this again, and if they did a sequel, I probably would not watch it. But I could understand why somebody would watch this movie and absolutely love it. But for me, like I said, I wasn't the audience. If I had to put a number on this movie, which I don't always like to do, but I do oftentimes do it, like for me, I would categorize this as a 55%, probably roughly, because I did like it more than what I didn't like it, but I couldn't really get into it. I didn't find it all that compelling, and I just felt that it was really long and dragged out. I loved the performances, but like I said, I couldn't grasp it. I tried to reach and connect on the emotional level, but I just just couldn't do it. And so that's why I would personally give it a 55. But I do know that a lot of critics and a lot of general audiences are loving it, and I'm really glad for that, and I hope you love it as well. I'd love to see these movies be successful. You know, we want to keep the film industry alive and well and healthy, but for me, I just wasn't able to connect with it. So anyways, folks, that's my review with If. Let me know in the comment section below if you've seen it, and if you'd like to tell me why or why not. If you like this video, click that subscribe button, and until the next one, take care.